You're listening to the Tao of Indifference, sex, dating, and relationship advice for an indifferent world. For more advice and tips, check out taoofindifference.com or follow us on Twitter at indifferent_D.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to the Tao of Indifference. I am your host, Demetrius, joined by my co-host, Delaney. Delaney, say hi to everyone.
Hello.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Today's topic is about single parents, specifically single dads. Delaney is actually going to be taking the lead. I am going to be the co-host. Delaney is actually the host. He's in charge. I don't have a kid. Delaney does, and she's beautiful.
Yes, she is.
First, we're going to read some dating advice questions from the dating advice subreddit. I will be reading the dating advice questions because Delaney's going to be answering all of them.
Yes.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm the professional today.
You are super professional.
Yes.
You're wearing. I don't know why you're wearing a tuxedo, but
You have to. You have to be ready.
You have to be ready. I understand that. I mean, we're not farmers, right? All right. First question is from Don Vier, who asks, I'm a 24-year-old woman, and I just got divorced from my husband of 4 years. We have a 16-month-old child together, and I have full custody of her as my ex is abusive and also just generally an uninvolved, uninterested parent. I emotionally checked out of our relationship well over a year ago, so although our divorce was only finalized a week ago, I'm 100% over it and feel emotionally pretty healthy, thanks to lots and lots of therapy. I don't want to jump into another serious relationship right away, but I think I'm ready to start dating. How the heck do people do that? I've only ever had 2 boyfriends. A dude I dated for about a month in high school, and then I dated my ex-husband for 2 years before I married him when I was 20. How do I meet people? I have an OkCupid account, but I seem to only get old guys, 50 plus, looking for someone to marry, or guys my own age who just want casual sex, and neither of those are really up my alley. Should I preemptively tell guys that I'm not looking for someone to support me financially, I have a good job of my own, or someone to be a daddy to my child? She's pretty happy and well adjusted without a father in her life, and I don't want to mess with that stability. It seems like a lot of men are really scared of single mothers. I don't blame them. I don't know if I'd want to be a step-parent myself, but like I said, I'm not looking for a replacement daddy. So, she didn't really end it with a question, but
that's not
I'll reframe the question for you. She wants to get back into dating. How does she do that? 1, that's the first question. How does she meet people? That's the second question. And should she preemptively tell people that she's not looking for financial support and a step-parent to her child? There you go. Take it away. First one. How does she go out there and start dating again?
As a parent, I would say try to avoid doing it in places where other parents go. Like, maybe you don't want... Yeah, like, don't try to pick up dates at a mother and me or daddy and me classes, because then you're putting yourself in a position where you're both being set up to be step-parents to each other's children.
Oh, God. You're going to Brady Bunch each other.
Yeah, which is... So, don't do that. I would say...
so, don't limit yourself to that.
Yeah, don't limit yourself to the mommy and me and daddy and me classes and activities. Maybe...
Don't pick up people at playdates.
Yeah, don't pick up people at playdates.
Okay.
And be open to doing things you weren't doing before you were married. I mean, it seems like the last time she was in a relationship, she was like a teenager.
She was a child.
Yeah, she was a teenager, so maybe start doing some adult-like activities.
Yeah, it sounds like she was 18 when she met him.
Yeah.
Then she was 20 when she got married.
Yeah.
And now she's 24, which is still super young.
It's very young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm still pretty young.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that sort of leads into how do I meet people? Would you recommend online dating?
I would recommend online dating. I would recommend maybe joining like Soul Cycle classes or places like that, like workout things.
Okay, so get active.
Yeah, get active.
Potentially meet people.
Yeah,
but not for the sole purpose.
Yeah, so maybe just to meet friends who become something. And then if you start, I feel like if you date a friend, it's easier to get them to understand that I don't need you to be a step parent. I need you to be there for me. Yeah.
I don't know these things.
I didn't write that as a tip, but
that's really good. No,
yeah.
Hey, go for it. I mean, this is something you know. I don't know this.
What was the third question?
The third question was, should I preemptively tell guys that I'm not looking for someone to support me financially or someone to be a father to my child? Should she preempt that?
No.
No.
I think...
I thought so too. I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, I don't think you should do that.
What I was thinking is if I started dating a single mother who told me that, I would be like, that's exactly what she needs.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're looking for.
She's
Yeah,
trying to fake me out.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that. I would say that as a response to if they brought it up. Like, I can be there more if you need me to pick up your son from school and take him to the park. I can do that. No, I don't need you to do that. I just want you to keep doing what we're doing. I'm enjoying what we're doing. Not happy with that.
Sounds good. Thank you for answering those questions.
Of course.
So, next question is from Throwaway1984. So, hi all. 25-year-old student and single mom here. My son is 3 years old and I haven't dated at all since I split with my son's dad over a year ago. By choice, I've been focusing on self-improvement. I was in a relationship with my son's dad for 5 years, but the breakup was mutual and there was/is no drama regarding custody, child support, etc., and we are successfully co-parenting. Good for you. Enter a 25-year-old dude. He is a fellow student, but we don't run in the same circle, so I've only seen him 2 or 3 times this past year. However, we recently reconnected at a party, and we hit it off. He asked for my number, and we have exchanged some flirty texts, and even asked me out for a date. I assumed he knew I was a mother, because most of the other fellow students know, but he hasn't mentioned anything about it. After the second day of flirtatious texts, I actually stopped responding to his text because I honestly do not know how to proceed. I didn't want to disclose that I'm a mother over text. That seems so impersonal. I didn't want him to feel like I'm misleading him, so I just stopped responding. No. However, I made it clear that I did want to reschedule our date when I returned to town in a few days. How should I go about this? My son is obviously my world, but I don't know how I should balance being a mom and dating. One thing I've already decided is that I will not introduce my son to any men I date. There is a mutual attraction between this guy and I, but what exactly should I say and how should I phrase it? I also know I have to be realistic because I understand that some guys, especially guys in their 20s, would prefer to date someone who doesn't have kids, and in that case it would be his loss. So, like I did with the last question, I'm going to rephrase her questions. How should she go about telling him? She obviously doesn't want to tell him via text because she thinks it's impersonal, but she's making the terrible, terrible mistake of not responding to his text. She not only wants to know how she should go about telling him, but what exactly should she say, and how should she phrase it, and how should she set her expectations for him. So, Delaney, how would you go about telling a girl who you've already been flirting with that, BT dubs, I got a baby?
I've actually done this wrong before.
Really?
Yeah, I mentioned it on the earlier podcast.
You mentioned it before.
Where I was like, I got rejected and it was pretty bad.
Yes!
So, what I did, which was, I guess, what I believe now it was wrong. So we were texting, and she said I had a pretty smile. We were texting, continued texting, and I said I'm a dad, and she switched the script. She said, "Oh, congratulations to you and your family. I'm very happy for you, yada, yada, yada." So, I did it through text, and it didn't go well.
So you would not recommend
I would not do it through text. And what the decision I made that I think should be used in a situation, I think it should be used for parents who feel like they have to tell, is that don't tell. Unless it's relevant, then it doesn't really need to be mentioned. It's not like you're hiding a big secret because you just met this person. You don't have to let them know everything about you. You don't have to
she hasn't even gone on a date with him.
Exactly. So, you don't have to tell them and then it'll make them realize that, this is one of my tips later on, that you can offer them, you are more than just a mom. You can be fun, you can be flirtatious, you can have great dates, but then there are going to be points where it's like, all right, I'm a mom duty. I can't do this right now. Then, it can be that when it's relevant, can we on this date Tuesday? Oh, I can't. Why not? Well, this is your reason why.
I have to watch my child.
Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, I don't think you shouldn't feel obligated to say you have a kid. It's not like a kid is, something that holds you back or something that, some parents believe that.
In some instances, it will hold you back, but it's not holding you back from dating.
Yeah, not from dating or being happy.
It's hard to date if you have, a 1-month-old.
Yeah, that's different.
At 3 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's great advice. So, that's it for the questions. We're keeping it short. Delaney, please, if you, as a single father.
As a single dad.
Which is...
Well, I'm not single. Oh, you
as
mean not?
someone who is not with the person who conceived their child.
Oh, yes, I am not.
And I think these are great tips. You frame them as dad, but
Yeah.
I think they're just good single parent. Like, you're not with the parent of your child.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation may be. If you have custody, you don't have custody. If you live with them, you don't live with them. Whatever the case, I think these are great tips. I have read them, great listeners. But Delaney, I will let you take it away from here.
Okay.
These are great. These are tips for single parents.
Tips
you
for
are
single
a father, but
yeah, tips for single parents. But I use myself in the situation.
absolutely. Go
Okay,
for it.
so one of my first tips is do not pressure dad or / parent to introduce the child or his child.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So you're saying that if I am, this is more the advice for someone dating a single parent.
Yeah, like you're on the opposite side.
So if I'm dating a single mom,
Yeah.
I'm not. But if I was, I should not put any pressure on her to meet the child.
Yeah, definitely
I know.
not. That's
She'll do it when she's feeling.
yeah, when she feels it's a right time.
All right, that's a good one. Next tip.
And realize that the parent is more than just
A
a parent, and they can discuss other things. Like the woman who just said, how should I bring this up?
Yeah.
Like you can talk about other things
Talk to them
besides
the way you would
yeah,
any
talk
other
like
human.
any other person.
All right.
Just take your kid out of the equation.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, but you're on a date, so you shouldn't be thinking about did they eat dinner and you're not focused on your date.
Cool. All right.
Okay, and the next one is he or she will occasionally need to prioritize time spent with his or her child. Realize that it doesn't mean that he doesn't like you. He doesn't take your relationship seriously. Like just because he has to pick up his kid from daycare on Tuesdays when you like to go to a restaurant on Tuesdays doesn't mean he doesn't want to go there with you, but he has responsibility. Yes, or she has responsibilities to take care of. My next tip is how he is or how she is as a parent doesn't define the man or woman that they are.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, say, if you see them on a bad day, you're with them and their child and they're losing their patience and they're being very irritable and they're just go away, yada, yada, yada. And you're just I'm kind of turned off. She seems this is not a great reflection of you as a parent.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that's how they are as a human being. It's just everyone loses their patience. They may be more patient as a parent than they are with anyone else.
Yeah.
So it could be the reverse. So you'd be they're really sweet. This is reason to date and reason not to date, kind of. It's kind of get to know them more than just as I want to watch you with your child. You should just want to spend time with them.
Yeah. Besides
with them as a parent. Because they're more than that. They're more than just a parent.
So a lot of it seems like a lot of your tips are, don't define the person you're dating that's a single parent as, this person's a single parent.
Yes.
It's more about, this is a human.
Yeah, this is a human.
Don't make them into one thing.
Got it, yes. And I have a tip. Well, these next tips are for if you're in a serious relationship with a single parent.
Go for it. I'm all for it.
The parent may need your help dealing with the problems that come with being a single parent. There's a lot of, there's some upsets and some downtimes. Sometimes it could be hard finding someone to watch your kid because you're a single parent and you don't have that other half to support you. I find it is more difficult raising kids by yourself. I mean, we were raised by a single parent, and it wasn't easy for her, and I think that goes for any parent, dad or mom. I think it's not easy. And the next tip is don't try to force a good relationship with the child. So once you do meet the child, you don't have to be the child's best friend.
Sure.
It's okay if the kid doesn't like you right away, because I feel like most situations kids don't like who their parent is dating, because they're you're not my mom, you're not my dad.
Not my mom.
Yeah.
Not my mom.
So it's okay if they don't like you right away, or if they like you right away, that's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah. And
now, what happens if the kid doesn't like them?
And if the kid doesn't like them right away, I think your job as a parent is not to make your kid like them, but to reassure your partner that it's okay if they're not being super friendly with you, because that's not if your kid has a reason to not like them, then you should have a serious conversation with the partner. But they just don't like them because they're not your dad, or things like that. Then,
right.
As a parent,
as long as it's not like they don't like them because they're a terrible human.
Yeah,
being.
But if it's like, I don't like him because he's not my dad, or I don't like her because she's not my mom, then as a parent, you're going to talk to their child, and as the partner, you're going to talk to your partner and you reassure them that I still want to be with you. This is a phase; they'll get past it. And some great relationships start off not so well. So
sure.
Between you and my child, you guys will probably grow to be awesome together.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
Last tip is be open to a new or different lifestyle because of this involvement with the child.
Okay. So say, like me, I like to go out, party on a Friday.
Yes.
I maybe can't do that all the time if I'm dating someone with a kid.
Yes.
So
and
like that.
yeah, and if you're dating a single parent, you may have to think about that before you start becoming serious with them. Like, I may, because partying is great, but
It's awesome.
yeah, it is. Partying is great, but spending quality time with someone, and especially with a kid, I feel like it's very beneficial when you get to be involved with someone who will pick up a lot of what you do. It's awesome being with someone who's like, I'm going to start picking up your habits. Like, you brush your hair like this, I'm going to brush my hair like this. And I think that can be just as cool as going to a party.
Absolutely. I enjoy spending time with my niece / her daughter.
Yeah.
Delaney, I think that's it. I'm going to throw in some tips for dating single parents because I've done it a bunch of times.
Okay.
Don't date a single parent don't date them seriously, or don't try to date them if you can't see yourself settling down with them, because these usually are people who aren't, unless they specifically say, like, I'm only looking for something casual. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they want you to be the parent to their child, but for the most part, they want to meet someone who is at a more serious point in their life.
Yeah.
So if you're at the point where, like you said, that you're partying and you're just, like, trying to hook up with people, unless they say that, chances are they're not looking for that. They're looking to move toward a more serious path.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty much just wasting your time. And they don't have a lot of time to waste. I think that's it. Delaney, anything else?
And good luck to everyone out there who's...
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Tao of Indifference podcast. If you liked this episode and want more sex, dating and relationship advice, subscribe to the Tao of Indifference on iTunes or Stitcher. Follow us on Twitter at indifferent_D and check out the blog at taoofindifference.com for more sex, dating and relationship advice. Thank you for listening and good luck out there.